This is one of my favorite episodes of Hoozuki no Reitetsu. The slapstick comedy of seeing Beelzebub just getting freaking beat around by balls. And no dirty comments intended with that one. But that was freaking funny when you get to see Hoozuki playing golf. All of a sudden he smacks him face with a golf club. That is when I lost all sense of emotion, just started laughing my ass off. That was funny, okay? Hoozuki no Reitetsu usually does great comedy with its just serious humor that really makes you have to think, but the way they did the comedy of just brutally beating Beelzebub was just wow. It was funny, and it was so different, and it definitely took me by surprise. I, for one, thought this was actually going to be the final episode, but it's not. Actually, next week might be the final episode. I don't know how many episodes it's going to be, but we definitely are not at the final episode yet, which makes me very happy, because I enjoy this series so much. So back to the topic of this episode. This episode was by far my favorite just because of slapstick comedy along with Lilith. That entire beginning with Lilith, that caught me by surprise. So, we find out that Lilith is technically Adam and Eve. She's Eve, and that Adam and Eve had like an argument to where who was on top and who was on bottom, and Lilith pretty much left, Adam. So that was what? I have to say, I thought it was very interesting the way they were twisting religion, and it was just so interesting the way they did that. It was just something unique, and this anime tackled it well. It didn't offend anyone, I don't think, in any way, the way they twisted the religion, but I thought it was really funny just the way the comedy was pulled off. I really love this episode, though. The animation was really good. I love the animation this episode. It was a lot better than previous episodes, and I feel like it really portrayed it a lot better. The music, once again, was on par with the scenes. I love the scenes, especially with freaking Lilith and Haku. Oh my god. So this episode mainly focused on Lilith, the scenes with freaking Beelzebub getting completely tortured and trying to one-up Hoozuki. That scene was hilarious. So he tries to one-up Hoozuki. He says, my only winning achievement is having my waifu. He literally says waifu. I was like, oh my god. So after he says waifu and he says, I have my wife Lilith, freaking Hoozuki had to the freaking camera. It shows Hoozuki and Lilith hugging each other. I was like, well, that's gonna mentally break him down, and all of a sudden you see freaking Beelzebub just freaking shatter with dust. That was epic. That was freaking epic, and I don't think they could have portrayed the actual realistic art style of that scene so freaking well. So, that was the first half. The first half was freaking gold. The second half, that was interesting. They go back into folklore and pretty much the standards of Hoozuki no Reitetsu, but it's very entertaining the way they managed to do it. Like, we find out the entire backstory of Haku. His entire backstory was interesting, so we find out about the Night Parade, the Demon's Night Parade. We find out exactly the history of the Night Parade. I mean, I think I forget what the anime is called in the actual folklore. I think it's called like Nurihong. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. I'm probably saying it wrong. But the entire story of that, it's really interesting the way it's actually told in this episode, and the way we find out that Haku sold out over 11,000 freaking demons to save his own ass. That was interesting. It really was, and I thought it was entertaining, and the entire entertaining aspect of it. I felt like the entire reason how Haku and Hoozuki met for the first time when they were freaking having Hoozuki forcefully getting Haku drunk over and over, day after day after day after day. You see the days passing. I was just laughing. I was like, oh my god, he's getting him drunk! Freaking days after days! Yo, this episode was epic. I enjoyed it. I laughed almost every bit. This was a really good comedy episode, and I feel like it was very fresh with the aspect because they shot me with a different level of comedy they tried to do in this episode. So, anyways, guys, this is going to be the end of my anime review on Hoozuki no Reitetsu this week. Tell me your thoughts on it. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moments in this episode? Which section of this episode did you like the most? The first part or the second half? Did you like both the parts? Just let me know in the comments below. Everybody, I love you so much. Chibi out.